guaranteed years, and then a player option worth more than $47 million for the 2022 and 2023 season. The 31-year-old Harden is about 9 months younger than Russ. Stephen A. Smith joining us now. And Harden, he turned down a 2-year, $103 million extension, Stephen A. His focus is on playing for the Nets, and we're 34 days away from opening night. Which team do you think James Harden will be playing for when the season begins in 34 days?
Well, listen, if you asked me up to an hour ago, I would have said definitively the Brooklyn Nets, because he's definitely highlighted them as the team he wants to play with, because he wants to play with his former teammate Kevin Durant. He doesn't mind playing with Kyrie Irving. And the combination of the threesome would be the latest version of a big three that obviously would be lethal on the offensive side of the ball. Nobody in the NBA would stop them. The question would be whether or not they could stop anybody else. But clearly they're going to put up points, and I definitely think that you'd have to look at them as one of the top 4 teams in the NBA. But then Daryl Morey arrives in Philadelphia as president of basketball operations with Doc Rivers as his coach, and suddenly this is the move that he makes, unloading $81 million over 3 years of a contract that Al Horford had that almost nobody thought they would be able to get rid of. And so when you look at it from that perspective, clearly the Philadelphia 76ers are trying to make moves. Clearly they're about trying to win now. Doc Rivers was in Los Angeles for 7 years with the Clippers, couldn't take them to the conference finals. Daryl Morey was in Houston for better than a decade, couldn't get them to the NBA finals. Both of these individuals are hungry as the coach and the president of basketball operations for this franchise. And obviously James Harden willing to turn down $50 million a year for 2 years, specifically 2 years at $103 million. Clearly he's about a championship as well. So all their agendas would align. Brooklyn, Philadelphia, pick your poison. But I'd still give Brooklyn a slight edge. But this is Daryl Morey we're talking about. You just never know.
Yeah, okay. We will see how this plays out for the next 5 weeks before the season starts off. Meanwhile, tonight, coverage of the draft is now less than an hour away on ESPN. There's no clear-cut number 1 in the draft. What's the biggest storyline you're watching tonight?
For me personally, I want to see James Wiseman at number 2. And the reason I think that's a big deal is because Klay Thompson didn't play last year. Steph Curry didn't play a majority of last year. And people have forgotten this is the best shooting backcourt ever known to man. If you're talking about pairing them along with Draymond Green, with a guy that's 7'1", that's athletic, that can rebound and defend at the basket, plus can put the ball in the hole, presumably, if he's facing one-on-one coverage, this is something that the Golden State Warriors haven't had. They didn't have it with Zsa Pachulia. They damn sure didn't have it with Andrew Bogut, okay? So if you're talking about adding this 7'1" dude with a tremendous upside to pair him with an experienced guy who's a savant on the basketball court in Draymond Green, and I'm going to reiterate my initial point.